Good morning, friends, afternoon, or good night, wherever you are in the world watching this video. It is currently 6 o'clock in the morning, and let's do a garden tour. It is the end of June, and I want to give you guys an update on everything that is going on in the garden. I am trying to beat the heat of the sun and my neighbors and everyone trying to go to work. If you are new here to my channel, my name is Moya, and I live in Baltimore City, Zone 7. Alright, so let's start in the front, guys, because I know a lot of you are anticipating an update for this area, and it looks beautiful. So let's start off on the left right here. We have this container is just giving everything it's supposed to give. So this is the Bourbon Cherry Smash cocktail container that I put together. I will link all the videos in the description below with everything that we did to get this space the way it is. So in this container I have a red canna that needs to be deadheaded, and we also have just look at this mixture, the different texture, the different colors of red. We have a black potato vine, we have Supertunia black cherry, which I am obsessed with. This is the first time I planted this in my garden, and it is just amazing. Behind that we have some double up red begonias. Now, when I did this video, I said I was not a fan of begonias. You know, this is the first time I planted them in my garden, and even though they stated that you don't need to deadhead this particular variety, I just don't like the way it looks. All these dead heads, these little black blooms, so I'm just gonna have to come in and pick them off. Down below we have some coleus, beautiful coleus, and then we have these beautiful pink roses. These are Our Lady of Guadalupe. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure of the pronunciation. It's Spanish, and I know in Spanish there's certain ways to pronounce certain words. So this is what these roses are with the nepeta at the bottom. They need some maintenance right now. They need to be sheared back so I can get a third flush of blooms. But overall, I am so happy. And then we have the purple fountain grass to just tie everything in with this area. All the colors are playing so well with this whole entire space. And with the fence, I wanted to sand and repaint the fence because the paint is peeling, but it looks amazing. It looks great. It just looks like it's been here for a long period of time. It looks very rustic. Repeated the same thing on this side. I love it. So we're gonna cover this area, but let's go down to the fountain first. As we come in, you can tell that I lost 3 Supertunia Vista bubblegum on this side right here to my left, but the ones on the right are looking amazing. So it is no secret that I have clay soil, and it was a disease that happened that gave them root rot. I will put the name on the screen because it is not the easiest to pronounce, and you can just Google it, or I leave it in the description box. I had to dig them out because they started to die, and I did not want the bacteria to spread, so I dug out the petunias, and I also dug out about 8 inches deep and wide of soil. I discarded of it. I drenched this area in hydrogen peroxide, and I will be bringing in some fresh soil that has more drainage. Yes, as I was saying, I will bring in more soil that has more drainage, and I might even dig out this whole area like one big drain. Just dig this all the way out and bring in some more soil, even go down to a foot. As you can see, the soil, or should I say the clay here, is just ridiculous. The back of this bed is actually like a berm, and it slopes it down, so I'm thinking all the water, it runs down and it settles and killed off the petunias. So let's start on this side. We have the Evening Rose Hibiscus. It is budded up, but it's not in bloom, and I cannot wait. It's just beautiful. We have Salvias, which you will be seeing all over the garden. I love it. It is plain blue salvia. It is actually a perennial here in my garden, zone 7. It comes back every year. This is from last year. Amazing. And then below we have 2 Lady Gardener roses that I will need to move because I did not anticipate the size of this hibiscus. We have some salvias that were bought on clearance, looking amazing. The color is just spectacular. And this one bubblegum sitting right here looking beautiful. And then you have the weeds intermingled between these plants. We have an obedient plant, which is one of my absolute favorite perennial in the garden, guys. This white plant right here, obedient plant, a must-have in the garden. Pinky Winky Hydrangea. I actually have 2. There is another one right there as the sun is coming up. And then we just have some annuals. These yellow daisies are some annuals that I found. Once they are finished in the fall, I'm going to pull them and plant more obedient plant in this area. I also have this beautiful microchip butterfly bush. I thought it was a Garner clearance as well, and she's doing amazing. It looks beautiful. The boxwoods are sending out new growth. And as we walk down towards the fountain, I planted some pentas, Egyptian star flower here. I planted 5. One of them I accidentally pulled when I was weeding or trying to weed, but she'll be fine. So in this area, in front of the pentas, I also have some nepeta as well on both sides of the fountain to give me a more, I don't know, cottage feel in between the boxwood of the formality. So they are on the left and the right side of the garden. They are extremely small right now, but that's okay. I do not plant for instant gratification all the time. I plant for the future, thinking of next season, how amazing it's going to be. As we move along down the path, you see these white wands veronica. I mean, guys, and there's a honeybee right now. Amazing. These plants are workhorses. They do not require a lot of water. They do not take up a lot of space, and they just keep on blooming. I need to come in and deadhead, but so far so good. More bubblegum. These ones, they're looking fine. They seem okay. If I see any signs of the bacteria that gave them root rot, I'm taking them out. Right here we have this, sorry about the sun, guys, and my figure. Right here we have rose like no other from Jackson and Perkins. It got hammered when the beetles were here. The leaves are destroyed and it's showing some signs of iron deficiency, so I need to come in with some liquid iron. Have a few empty spaces. The dianthus are coming back into bloom. I shared them back maybe 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Coming back into bloom, and then we just have this space right here. I'm thinking to remove this Glow Girl Spirea. It's not looking happy at all. I'm not sure if it's not getting enough water or whatever the case might be. It's just not looking happy. And then we have these Nicotianas. I call them Nicotina the first time and nobody corrected me. Guys, come on now, we are friends. I am all about positive criticism, and I can take it as long as it's positive. Hey Moya, that's not how you pronounce the word. This is how you pronounce the word. Send me a voice note on Instagram. Something. I call it Nicotina and it's Nicotiana. I learned about these in Erin over at The Impatient Gardener. That's where I learned about these plants from. So I decided to try them in my garden. So far, not a fan. If I'm being honest, I am not a fan. Right here we have the Sun Credible Saturn. This is new for next season. Beautiful, beautiful. You see the ring around the center? Gorgeous. That's why they call this Saturn, just like the ring around Saturn. Just beautiful sunflower. Let's see what it does, how tall it gets. Right now, it doesn't get much water in this location, but it's doing pretty well. Slow turn to the right, to my left. All right, let's talk about this area now. We have the bubblegums on this side doing amazing. It's doing amazing. And then behind that, I planted some Dusty Miller just to fill in some empty spaces that I have. In fall, I'll be planting more perennials in the space. I want this area to be filled with perennials. We have this mini Mauvette hydrangea, and oh my word, gorgeous. It's constantly sending out new blooms, which tells me she is happy. She's really, really happy in this space, and that's just amazing. So this is one of two. And then we have more obedient plants. I just love it. This is one of my top 5 perennials, a must-have. It clumps, and you can divide it every season. So I normally divide mine every 2 to 3 seasons. I just love this plant, and white is just needed in this space. In the back there we have an oak leaf hydrangea, the only oak leaf hydrangea I have in my garden. She's putting on new growth, but I don't think she's happy in this space. This area, she doesn't get sun until about 3 o'clock, or about 2:30, 3 o'clock, until the sun sets around 7-ish. But it's hot, intense sun. This is the west side of the house, so it's pretty hot, and I don't think she's happy. Moving on up, we have some salvias in this area. I cut them back a while ago. I am waiting for them to show me some signs of new growth, something. I don't see anything yet, so we shall see. There's nothing yet. This is the Pink Dawn color spirea. We have another hydrangea. This is the Invincible Spirit 2. Beautiful. Look at the size of these heads. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And down here in between the salvias, we also have these beautiful coleus, the dark foliage, almost black. This is newly noir. I mean, just gorgeous. And I'm thinking by the time they get about 3 feet tall, the spireas will come into bloom with that light pink bloom, and they will just look perfect together. This was sent to me as a trial. I wish I had like 5 or 7 just to mass plant that area to be a backdrop for the salvias, but I'm loving the color. I'm loving it. It's new for next season. We have a more Dusty Miller randomly planted. And guys, are you a fan of daylilies? Look at this daylily. Beautiful, amazing. Like, there's not enough words to describe these daylilies. I love the color, I love the throat, I just love the ruffled edges. Beautiful. I don't remember the name. Rainbow Rhythm, Sound of My Heart. So the thing about daylilies, you have to plant things around them that are constantly blooming, because they don't last for a long period of time. So by the time they are finished, these alliums that I'm trying to plant in the front, in this plastic, black plastic that does not belong here, I'm trying to do a little small drift of alliums right here in the front to come into bloom by the time the alliums go out of bloom. And even though they are both a grassy texture, they both have different texture of grass, if that makes sense. In the back, we have some delphiniums, or foxglove, I should say. One came up, but the bloom is just wonky all over the place. It's not standing up straight. I don't know what's going on. And I think these other two won't bloom until next season. This container right here with this obelisk, I had clematis growing on it, and I also have a rose, the Zephyrine Rose. I am not a fan of her. She's not I don't know, she just looks a hot mess. When you look up Zephyrine Rose on the internet and all the information that you see about it not being as pest resistant, disease resistant, and it just gives a lot of problems, it's true. Especially here in my garden where it's very hot and humid and I deal with a lot of pests, it's just not holding up. All right, these little purple, what are these again? We have these meteor shower verbenas. They are also a perennial here. And the great thing about that is you pay annual prices for these perennials and they come back for you if you're in zone 7, 8, 9, 10. It's just amazing. Okay. This beautiful plant right here is a summer wine 9 bark. Guys, in the springtime when it put on the creamy pink blooms, it's amazing. However, I'm realizing that as the year passes now, she just wants to get huge. And I do prune this every early spring. I prune her back. So I kind of not get that weeping effect from it as much because I constantly prune it, but it's constantly sending out new growth. This is original to this garden space. This is the oldest thing in this space. I bought it on clearance for $5. Right here we have the beautiful Quickfire Hydrangeas, and Quickfire Hydrangeas tend to grow extremely slow here in my garden. This has been here for about 4 years and that's all it's given, nothing else. I only cut off the old blooms each season and that's all it's given. So these two plants together are the oldest. They are the veterans of this garden space. They've been here for a while. So this bed, about 4 feet, been here, and it wrapped around before I put up this fence. They've been here originally, that I put in about 3 years ago, and it stopped right at that brick fireplace thing that's right there. And then I extended the bed out once we put in the walkway to give me more planting space. So this side is slowly coming together. We have, all the way in the back, we have the beautiful butterfly bush is Miss Molly. And to the right of that, we have a summer crush hydrangea, not hydrangea, hibiscus. And then you still have some plain the blue salvia in the area. Then we also have some more buttercream daisies as annuals, and we also have some penstemon. So with the penstemon, what I'm going to do is try to find 2 to 3 more and plant them where the daisies are once the daisies are no longer blooming in fall, once the frost takes them or something like that. I'm going to dig them up and plant them right here in between so I can have a nice clump of penstemon. I love the dark purple with the creamy pink blooms. Then we have the mini king salvias doing amazing. They are also clearance plants that I picked up last season for $2 a piece, and they are doing spectacular with the bubble gum in front, doing amazing. This side is doing amazing because this whole area is on a slope, so all the water runs off on the opposite side, which I kind of understand why my petunias died. This is also a clearance baby as well. This is, I think, a Pugster Blue butterfly bush. I need to come in and deadhead the roses, deadhead a few of these plants, weed, and mulch. Now we're back out in the front, and you guys saw me plant this up. I'll leave a link in the description if you are new here and you have yet to see this video. So the Bloody Mary is doing well. Things are taking some time to put on some growth because the heat has not been consistent. The past 3 to 4 days is the most consistent it has been in this area. We've been in the 90s. Today is 100 degrees, and I'm hoping things will take off. As you can tell, I have yet to mulch, and it's going to have to wait. But this area is slowly but surely coming along. This petunia right here, however, I don't know what's going on with this petunia. she's looking like she's ready to tap out. Then we have my hibiscus. There's one bloom that opened this morning. This is the Berry Awesome. Beautiful, amazing. She is ready. She is, yes, she is going to be given everything that needs to be given in this neighborhood, okay? And then we have the basket. I love this basket so much. I get questions all the time. Where did you get your basket? This was actually a Facebook Marketplace find. I found this at an estate sale that was posted on Facebook. I have Superbena Red, 2 of them, one in the front, one in the back, and then I have 2 Supertunia Limoncello? No, Supertunia Honey. She was not given anything, but now with the consistent heat she's putting on growth, she's starting to trail over. And then with these lemon coral sedum, I did not plant them here. I had planted lemon coral sedum in this basket in fall, and some little baby piece fell off, like this little tiny one right here. And then it just grew all winter and spring, and I decided to leave them there as a beautiful ground cover accent type piece. So amazing, just amazing, guys. How beautiful is this right here? Different shades of green, different textures that we have going on. So these junipers are at maximum height. They will not get any taller. I always get questions about my junipers. They are from Monrovia. I think these are called sea green. I will put the correct name on the screen. Beautiful evergreen pieces. However, they do tend to want to spread and get about 4 to 6 feet wide. Not at the base, but in the limbs. So I normally just grab a limb if it's just, you know, being a little bit too extra, want to take over the space. I grab the limb, follow it down to the base, and I snip it out. So that's how I control the size of this, and I love it here. I just love how it anchors around the bird bath. It gives the space so much structure. Even in winter when there is nothing blooming, nothing that looks beautiful, the space just does it for me. Let me get closer. So in the back, we have 3 beautiful hydrangeas that I paid $3 for. If you've been here from the start, you remember when I bought these for $3. I want to say shout out to Mike. He no longer worked at that particular Lowe's anymore, but he gave them to me for $3, and I'm forever grateful. And every time I see them, I think of you. I hope you're doing well. So these are in the garden. They bloom. These are sweet summers or summer sweet. I can never get the correct name. It's either sweet summer or summer sweet hydrangea, and they bloom. They resemble the limelight hydrangeas, but their blooms are a little bit more delicate on the smaller side. Has a little bit more pink blush tone to them. I cannot wait for all my panicle hydrangeas to start blooming in the garden. Beautiful. I also planted some cannas here that I had left over. They're doing okay. Then in the back, we have some type of fungus in the soil. That does not mean that it's bad, because there are some fungus that are good. So these are some kind of mushrooms, which mean the soil is amazing, but I just do not like the way they look. I do not like the way they look. I need to weed this area as well and mulch. Once I put down the mulch, this bed is going to look amazing, gorgeous, beautiful, phenomenal. Okay, and this arborvitae right here on the left, this was a baby when I planted this 3 or 4 seasons ago, which means 2 years ago I planted this arborvitae just to anchor this space. This was before this side of the garden was even a thought. I did not expect to extend the garden all the way out to my left, but this beautiful space with the junipers, they're both evergreens, but there's 2 different textures and they play so well together. Yes. All right, there's not much going on for my porch. I kept 2 containers very simple. So I have these beautiful blue containers, and I just planted some elephant ears. What are these again? Caladiums. It took me a while to think of that. Caladiums that I started from corms, tubers, I don't know, bulbs. And I had 4 begonias left over. I popped 2 in here, the red, double up red, and 2 in the other container, and a lemon coral sedum. This area gets shade all day. It's protected by the porch because it's underneath. So, yeah. So this is what I am currently working on. This is my baby that I have been working on late at night. Every night I spend about an hour or 2 out here trying to get this space together. So if you guys remember back in spring, it looked beautiful with all the tulips, and it was giving what it's supposed to give. It looked amazing. And then the roses came in and they did their thing. They're bloomed, but once they were bloomed out, I was like, okay, something is missing. I did not like this space. I did not like the way it looked. It wasn't, I felt nothing. I felt nothing. I just felt so cold toward the space. I just could not figure out, like, you know, what was missing. I needed something. And I decided to take out all the roses that I bought on clearance last fall when we planted them. I took them out. I was like, okay, they need to go. I took them out. I took out all the Russian sages, everything that I planted except this peony bush right here. I'm going to move that in fall. I'm just a little bit nervous. It's been there for 4 years. So I took it out and I planted 3 emerald green arborvitae to give me some height, body, structure, something heavy. When I dig out this peony bush, I'm going to plant 1 more in this space between this beautiful classic old school butterfly bush. This was a clearance piece. Did not have a tag when I bought this 3 years ago. Then in the front I planted 4 Invincible Annabelle hydrangeas. They look a little bit beat up right now, and that's okay. When I created this bed, I did not plant this bed for this season. I knew I would not get much out of this space. So next season, once they are established through fall, next season they're going to be doing amazing. But the bloom heads are humongous. They are gorgeous. I just love it. And they get about 4 to 5 feet tall and wide, so they're going to take up this whole back space. Layer down, I planted some hibiscus. Yes, I know I have a lot of hibiscus, honey. I love hibiscus. It reminds me so much of the Caribbean. Growing up in a tropical climate, I was born and raised in Jamaica, and it just brings back so much memories, even though we had the tropical hibiscus there. Beautiful. This one is called Edge of Night. Now, as you can see, I tried to do the whole cardboard no dig method, or sheet mulching as you would call it, with a little bit of twist. Instead of the mulch, I used a topsoil based mix with compost. It's not working, so I've been stuck right here for several days. It's just, when you do this, it's not for instant planting. You have to wait a season or 2 for it to break down, and then you can work into the soil. So the whole sheet mulching thing is just not for me, because I like to plant immediately. So if you can wait, you have patience, unlike myself, and you can wait to plant, do this method. I understand the reason why a lot of individuals try this method instead of digging into the soil and doing all that backbreaking work, but it's just not for me. So these salvias, they did not have a tag, but I'm going to put the name on the screen because I cannot think of it off the top of my head. They were clearance, and I bought 12 of them, and I did a drift. So I need to come in and deadhead these as well. But they are beautiful. The blooms are this beautiful light pink, and then against the dark foliage of the hibiscus, especially when they get to mature size. So these hibiscus look like I planted them close, and I did, because they only get about 3.5 feet tall and wide. This is the smallest hibiscus that Proof Winners and Walter's Garden came up with or curated in the last several years. This will be new for next season. And then in the back, because I wanted some dramatics, I wanted some instant gratification, I planted these elephant ears. They get about 4 feet tall and wide. So even though the hydrangeas do not look the best at the moment, by the end of the season, those elephant ears should come up big and beautiful and just kind of camouflage all of that that's going on in the back. Next is this area. I need to finish this bed, finish this space. I need to weed this area, bring in some more cardboard to finish it off, because I mean I already started, so why not finish? And plant more shade tolerant things on this side. Yeah, because this side gets a lot of shade. This area is very tricky. It's full sun, but this area gets shade. Once everything is finished, I'm going to cut off the excess board, not cardboard, excess trash bags. This is what you would put your leaves and debris in from the garden. And then my workspace. Of course, I have to show everything. This is my workspace. The grass took a beating. So once I'm done with everything, I am going to mow extremely low, aerate, and then I'm going to reseed some grass. I need to have some sort of grass in the yard for the kids. I can't take it all up, even though I wish I would. Wish I could. So moving on down to Hydrangea Lane. Of course. Here is another beautiful hydrangea. This is a Quickfire Hydrangea, the first hydrangea I ever planted in my garden. We have one more rose that I need to dig out. This is the Darcy Bustle Rose. Beautiful color. I don't know. I don't know about this one. I have a large container that I planted up a couple nights ago that I'm going to put right in here. I'm going to move this over and put it right in here. And then all of this back here is black-eyed Suzanne. And let me tell you, this plant is amazing, okay? It spreads, but you can control it. So I'm going to, it's spreading behind my hydrangea, so I need to go in, dig it out, and plant it around the fountain area. Yes, to give me some yellow back there, some late summer blooms back there. Hydrangea Lane is looking amazing. I have no complaints. This is the only side of the garden that's like 100% beautiful. Just look at the coleus, look at the heucheras. Amazing. So this is the velveteen coleus. I need to move a few of them because they are getting choked out by these limelights. I pruned them severely hard early in spring. I did not expect them to get so tall, so big, just beautiful. I also planted some bubblegum in between the coleus, not the coleus, the heucheras, and they're slowly coming. I had to spray for budworms, so they were a little bit behind, and I only fertilized one, so I need to be on top of that so they can really put on some growth. So over here we have 2 large Limelight standards that I bought online from Costco, and they were $159 total together. It was a steal, guys. Okay, beautiful, just amazing. I'm just so happy. I have them in these large terracotta pots, and I underplanted them with some bubble gum that I had left over and red verbena, but as you can see, the soil has settled and I need to come in and top dress this. And then these are from last season, the season before. These are Quickfire Hydrangeas, and you guys remember these? This was the $10 standards that I bought from Walmart. Not last season, like the season before that, or maybe even 3 seasons ago. It's time for them to be planted in ground. They are not happy. They're not really doing much. And it's time for them to just put them in ground. So in fall, I'll be doing that, putting them in ground. All the Limelights are budded up. This is their 3rd season, so they've only been here for 1.5 years, and they have doubled in size. Beautiful. This is going to be a spectacular show. My hydrangeas are extremely happy. I have no complaints, guys. One of my favorite hydrangeas in the garden is this Abracadabra Hydrangea. It is very rare to find. If you have this in your garden, congratulations. I searched high and low. It took me 2 years to find this. It's a black stem hydrangea, and it blooms a beautiful pink, and I cannot wait for it to bloom. It has yet to bloom for me. I bought it last fall. I do not know the name of this hydrangea. It was a clearance find. It did not have a tag. It is not a Proven Winners brand. I just popped it in this container. I need to pop it in a terracotta pot, but beautiful, just beautiful. Look at the blooms. Amazing. All right, then we have 2 Summer Crushes by Endless Summer. Just look at the intense color. These blooms are old, pretty old, but they're still holding on, and they look amazing. I have another one up there as well. When the sun comes up first thing in the morning, they get sun, and they are extremely happy. Look at this color, guys. This is intense. Okay, I divided this into 3, remember, with the other video right here. Let's see, this is the City Line Paris Big Leaf Compact Hydrangea. It's only about 2 feet tall and wide at mature size. I divided it into 3, and this is the 3 right here. This one, and these 2 on the ends. I'm not sure what this is. It has no buds, so I'm assuming it's not going to bloom this season. So we're going to have to wait until next season. And then we have this one right here as well. The thing about my hydrangea collection is that a lot of times when I buy them on clearance, they don't have a tag, or I lose the tag myself, and if I don't remember it off the top of my head, I cannot tell you what they are. So this Nantucket Blue Hydrangea is flopping all over the place. She is huge. She's flopping all over the place. We had a storm came through, and she's just been like this. I am going to, now that the blooms are old, I'm going to cut them off to give her some relief, and hopefully the stems will bounce back up and look amazing. This is another beauty as well. This is the black stem hydrangea. It's a zebra hydrangea, or zebra, and it has beautiful creamy white blooms. with the black stem. Oh, I love this. I just love this. It's very unique and it's very different. This is Let's Dance Rave. This one right here. Let's Dance Rave. Beautiful. And then up here we have the Blushing Bride. Constantly sending out new blooms. Beautiful. I need to come in and work on this hydrangea. I need to cut off all the spent blooms. All the old blooms. Let's see what this is. Let's Dance. This is Let's Dance Starlight. I need to come in and clean it up, but as you can tell, this is what the blooms typically look like. Gorgeous. The other blooms are old. Just need to be cleaned up. Some garden maintenance. It's just been so hot. Busy during the day. I just don't have the time all the time. This is my newest purchase because I'm always adding hydrangeas to my garden. This is the magical Rhapsody Hydrangea. The chartreuse lime green with the creamy white throat. Ah! Beautiful. She is gorgeous. Okay, I need to get her in a pot. And this right here as well. This is a Tuxedo dark foliage hydrangea. Honey, let's see if I can find one in the shade. Look at the same plant, two different blooms. Gorgeous. Amazing. Beautiful. Okay, then we have the Tough Stuff Aha from Proven Winners. I need to get all these hydrangeas right here. I need to pot up. They need to be planted in pots, and I'm running out of the space, so I started to put a little concoction right here. I need my husband to build me another bench like the one we have with these hydrangeas. This is a big Daddy Hydrangea. He has no buds, so I'm assuming it will not bloom this season. Right here we have another Summer Crush right here, and another Summer Crush right there, and in the back we have two originals. You can change the color on these. Obviously they are pink, but you can change them to purple, bluish. And for those of you wondering what kind of fertilizer I use for my hydrangeas, this is what I use. These two right here. If you guys want me to go more in depth about my hydrangea care to have success and tips with hydrangeas in containers, just let me know. I almost forgot to share this area with you guys. So my husband built me this beautiful lattice planter, and I just decked it out with some hydrangeas. These are some beautiful Garnetta Hydrangeas. They are new for this season. So originally when he built this for me is to kind of camouflage all the things that we have here in the back. We have 6 large totes that we use to collect rainwater. It is encouraged here in Maryland to collect rainwater. There are no restrictions. You don't need a permit or anything like that. So this is kind of camouflage and hiding it to give me an extra planting space. So when I sit down on this concrete pad area, I don't really see all of the stuff back here. So he's slowly working on getting those out of here. So he's just gonna have patience when it comes to men and their things and their toys. So in this planter, I have the Garnettas. I also have this Campfire Coleus. I have 2, one on each each side, potato vine as well, one on each side to anchor this space. I have 3 Bordeaux, one here, one in the corner back there, right in here. Then we have this scavola. I even planted a purple fountain grass. I just had to have some grassy texture, so I decided to put that in here. I know they get pretty large, and you know, that's okay. So in the back, I planted 2 hyacinth bean. One here, and then there's one there. So they're gonna give me a green wall. They're gonna grow up the lattice and just give me like a green wall to hide even more all of my husband toys and tools back here in this planting space. And then down here, you know, I have to show everything. So this is not finished. He's actually going to build me a shelf going across so I can like stack my terracotta pots under here, stack up my terracotta pots. So what I need to do, I need to cut this down, cover it up with cardboard, and bring in some mulch. I will not be planting this area because I need access to get to this planter. So I still have all my tools and things out. I need to get rid of that electrical cord. I need to put it somewhere. I need to find a black cord for my fountain. I don't know how well you guys can see because the sun is up and I've been out here too long. It's hot. So this is the sitting area I am currently working on. So this concrete pad is not big enough, but it's just the right size to have 2 chairs and a small table in between these 2 chairs that I have. And then I also have my umbrella. So I need to get an umbrella stand to put it at the edge so it gives me some shade while I am out here. So these are the containers. They are not in their permanent space. I just put these together to see how they would look. So we have 3 on this side with the rest of my stuff that was here on the concrete pad. I'm slowly working on it. It's coming together somewhat. Same thing on this side. Now behind the concrete pad, I started to plant up a few things. I have a hibiscus, a Bourbon hydrangea, a few perennials in here, and I dug up that concrete piece from out of the ground. I still have this side to do. I have dahlias in these little containers that I've yet to get in the ground, dahlias on the table, and then this is my first original veggie garden bed. I have, believe it or not, I have tomatoes that are doing amazing to the left in this space, and then I have strawberries to the right, and everything else is just lush green, beautiful weeds. And then the gate that still need to be replaced. So the list of things to get done is long. I am not rushing it because if I do everything in one day or 1 week, I won't have anything else to look forward to. So enjoy the weeds that come with all the other beautiful things in my garden. And that's all there is for this June's garden tour. That's all that's been going on in the garden. The updates I have for you guys right now. Thank you guys so much for watching if you made it to the end, and I'll see you guys in another video. Bye friends.